Hello! Hey, you
Hi.
there.
Hey,
How's everyone feeling today, first of all?
I'm feeling divine.
Divine. Look.
We've already started.
That's it,
12
folks.
seconds,
It was
thank
great
you.
playing with you all.
Yeah, we're turning this bus around. We are going home.
We are emergency looking for a guest right now to replace Drac.
Drac, I don't know what they're talking about. I thought what you said was heavenly.
Oh no!
Yes, we love it. I
Anyway,
can always trust Troop to have my
I
back.
mean, well,
Oh
how
my
about that?
goodness.
as you might have noticed, welcome to the Stream of Puns. No, actually, no. It's just one more actual play, little two-shot this time. We're going to be playing this week and next week with the lovely people here that you can see on stream. And before we get too much into what we'll be playing, I'm just going to say that we'll be using the quest system, and we're going to be playing in something called Minor God University, and today is orientation. But before we get deeper into that, just want to go around the table and ask yourselves to just tell me who you are and who you'll be playing. As for myself, I am Nuno, he, him pronouns, and I'll be your guide for today and next week. Because yes, in Quest, there's no GMs, just guides. And Drac, wanna go? You're next on my frame of view.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Draconic, so Drac for sure. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Iwela. He uses they, them pronouns. Should I say what god I am? Or is
Yeah,
that like
you can. You can.
Yeah. So I'm Iwela, the god of righteous anger. Because there is many things to be angry at and for good reason, and he is in charge of that.
Spooky. Ooh, okay, very dangerous. What about you, Sarah?
Hello, I'm Sarah, she, her pronouns. Today I will be playing Anahita, the minor god of archives, keeping an eye out for history and how we record it. But don't touch it, just watch.
I love that. I love that. That was really good.
Thanks.
And now for our illustrious guests, Dot. Hello.
Hi. I'm Little Red Dot. I am going to be she, her pronouns, but I'll be playing Zero Waste, our new minor goddess of renewal and reuse, sent by Gaia herself to clean up this planet. There will be Captain Planet jokes. There will.
Also,
be.
you can also tell us like where we can find you as well, because you know you want special
You
guests,
can find me
want
every.
everyone to
Oh, I
see
guess that's true. You can find me everywhere as Little Red Dot. Pick your social media platform of choice. But most of the time now, you'll catch me over working with Kobold Press. I'm their new Twitch producer, and when I'm not there, you can check out some of my personal things. My big claim to fame right now is my new Vampire the Masquerade podcast called Stitch of Fate that I do with some of my friends. We're up for a few awards. And if you want to know more about what I do, it'd be cool if you go vote for me. I'm up for like 3 Game Her awards right now, y'all. So
I didn't know.
So it'd be super
All
cool if
right.
if you just had some extra clicking power today to use it to work your way right on over there and give me a little love. Yeah.
Minor god of gaming, let's go.
Yes. Last but definitely not least, Trooper. Hello.
Hi, I am Trooper SJP, and I am playing Somnus, who uses they, them pronouns, who is a magician, class-wise, and is the minor god of nostalgia. Because everything was so much better back when, don't you think? Don't you remember? Back when things were just so much better. And you can find me, not back then, but right here on Play Multiverse right now. Which is good because you're here right now, so that's convenient. Also, you can find me at Trooper SJP on my channel on Twitch or Academic Foxhole on Twitter.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your introductions. And now I believe it's time for me to give a little bit of context, right? Because we've been talking about Minor God University and today's orientation, and you're the god of this and god of that. But what does it mean? Well, the year is 2021. A lot of things has passed. Religion is a mess. The world is a mess. We're stuck at home. But somewhere, sometime in this world, there is a special place. a place where entities that once were powerful, once held reign over a myriad of domains, quietly wane in power, quietly sit their mighty school without being sure about what the future reserves. But there is one thing that gives them hope, one direction. As emotions boil and toil throughout the world, this primal force that comes with it creates things, feelings? No, people. But not exactly people. More than that, it creates entities. And hope is back in you, because all of you have been contacted to ingress in the Minor God University, where gods of old power from different religions across the world and across the times have gathered for one last chance at relevance. And that chance is pass on their teachings to these new primal forces that awaken, or that have been dormant on purpose. And for that, I suggest we move to our little first scene, where we see that our 4 characters have just appeared in these 2 runic circles here in this classroom. And now, before we start with the game proper, I'm gonna ask who wants to go first and talk to us a little bit more about their character.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I'm Iwela, they, them, like I said before, and I'm the god of righteous anger. I very recently awoke, but I've existed for a long time. Took on various different forms, but I've never felt stronger than I have during 2020 and 2021, and I think we all know why. There are so many things to be angry about, so many things that we need to fix, and peaceful talks have not worked in those cases. So I'm here to show you that sometimes you need to get angry, because, you know, angry get stuff done. So I'm the party's invoker. When people see me, they usually notice my deep red eyes, my nearly constant growl and like snarl on my face, and this furrowed brows. I look like I'm angry all the time, and then when I'm actually angry, is so much worse. I wear like purple and grey robes, a bunch of rings on my fists, on my fingers, and I just constantly move like I'm about to punch someone, whoever. Like I'm always making a beeline as if I'm going to attack someone, whoever's directly in front of me, even if I'm not. I'm from the collective indignation of the masses, just the anger that's been boiling and ruling this whole, honestly, for the whole of humankind's existence, but especially the past few years. And I'm just known for getting things done with a motivation of anger. You know, it's just different from anything else. It usually works pretty well. I believe in righting wrongs with force if necessary, but my short temper tends to get in the way. But I dream of finally being at peace. It's not nice being constantly angry. I want the things I'm angry about to end, so then I can rest. You know, it's not, the scar isn't great for the face. You know, I'm getting the lines, and you know, I want to stay looking young. And yeah, that's me.
Beautiful. Before I move on, I'm going to ask you one little question then.
Ooh, okay.
How did Iwela feel when they were invited to ingress in this 3-year course, by the way?
Okay, I think obviously angry. You know, he's always feeling angry. But but I think it's kind of like a, sure, I'll do this, but he's upset and annoyed that he knows that he will still be relevant in 3 years, kind of deal. You know, he's upset that he will still need to be a god in 3 years' time, and the university knows this. So I think that's kind of like the feeling he's going into this with, like, fine, I'll do this, but I'm angry that I have to do this. Like that there is no choice.
That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, if you scroll back here to this little whiteboard, you'll see that I'm taking a little bit of notes here in this section, just so we keep in mind as we introduce our characters. And this may help you, create a few dynamics already between the new arrived students here at MGU. So let's actually move back here. And who would like to go next?
I would actually like to introduce Anahita in kind of sharp contrast to that. As Anahita steps out of the portals, you do not hear her footfalls, even though she has this great tangled mess of gray and white hair, black hair on the other side. She seems neither old nor young. She's got the faintest bags under her eyes, but at the same time, smooth skin. You can't quite place her. Anahita has been in existence for quite a few thousands of years. And even while you see that she has this kind of out of place look to her, and very practical clothing, it feels like if she's in the just out of the corner of your eye, you don't see her anymore. She sort of disappears from view. And that's how she prefers it. As the minor god of archives, she's less interested in what has happened and what's truthful and what's not, but more interested in recording all of it. And especially in this age of how information disseminates, she's quite interested in learning at the Minor God University how to keep track of it. In her time, information would come top down, and it now seems like everyone is capable of her ability as well. Her soft voice makes it easy to overlook, and she doesn't often speak up unless needed to, lest she lend her own bias. And she formerly comes from the Nile banks of Egypt, where her people were the first record keepers. She believes in understanding the world around it and how far it has come, but my archivist role tends to get in the way of me taking action. I dream of fresh parchment, a one-way looking glass, and a hot cup of black tea with mint.
Oh, nice. All right. In that case, I have not one, but two questions for you then, Sarah, about Anahita. After all this time, hiding, keeping it on the down low, not wanting to intervene, just doing what you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would you come here?
Anahita is definitely a lifelong learner. She is the doctor, but not that kind of doctor, more of a doctor of philosophy, But this is where the change makers have come together. No better way to witness history than by being alongside the people who can influence it.
Mm-hmm. So would you say Anahita just wants to be there for an important part of history?
Absolutely. Someone
She
has
wants to
to
be in
write
the
it down.
room when it happened. Basically.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Nice. I have another question, and this one's kind of random and silly, but I think it's very appropriate. How does Anahita feel about social media?
Oh.
She hates that with a button, it can honestly go away. A lot of MySpace and Tumblr blogs just gone to the wind. She hates to see it. But yeah, it seems, parchment can be set to fire. Floods can take out libraries and areas of record, but there's something even more fleeting with social media that is unsettling to her, but she is intrigued by it. I don't think she sees, fake news and false information as something bad. She sees it just another part of the tale.
Interesting. Brilliant. All right, just writing that down for our reference. Okay, you're off the hook. I don't have any more questions for you. Which leads us to the next character. Who would like to introduce your character now?
Do it, Trooper. I saw the look on your face. Do it.
No, I saw the look on your face.
No, you do it.
All right. Fine. I will. Hi. I am playing Somnus, who is the minor god of nostalgia. And when I walk through the portal, I walk through with a kind of fresh step. I'm wearing sort of like a black t-shirt with the sleeves rolled up, dark blue jeans, sort of that dark blue with the cuffs rolled up, a leather motorcycle jacket that's slung over my shoulder, and I've got my hair in a pompadour, and some nice, good saddle shoes as well, black, white. And I am that age that was the perfect age. You remember when your knees didn't hurt yet, when your back was fine, when you were like at your fittest and strongest and feeling best, probably somewhere in your 20s or maybe, who knows, it's really unclear. You have to answer that question for yourself, but it's that kind of a bloom of youth that everyone wants to be, that is in all of the media. And I walk through with this sort of air, when I imagine I smell like Old Spice, and I walk through with this sort of pep in my step. And I think it's important to note that Somnus, I look like a greaser, but not a greaser from real life who would have been a gang member, who might have, boosted your hubcaps and taken your car or something like this, but more like that greaser from a musical that you once saw. The kind that is like sort of fun and cool, and you're like, wow, weren't they so neat? That kind of greaser. The one from film maybe, or a musical. And I might have just a little bit of a dance in my step as I come through, and I'm humming probably something from some tune you remember at some point in time.
Interesting. I like it. Okay, in that case, I also have two questions for you then. Given that Somnus is all about this feeling of nostalgia, right? Why are they at MGU if this means the last step for a future that may not come to fruition, right? If this is a step of change, if it's a last hurrah, ode to a future that could be the creation of this university, why are they here?
Well, that's so strange that you think about it that way. I don't know what people who are running this university are thinking, but do you remember when there were gods everywhere? When there were gods in all parts of the world? Wasn't that a wonderful time? Think about how amazing it was when you could travel down a road and you see an old woman on the road, and that old woman was Athena. How amazing was that when the entire world around you was buzzing and alive with gods of spirits, of trees and of brooks and streams? What an amazing time. And anyone could become a demigod. Wasn't that an amazing time? Wouldn't you like to go back to that time? I know I would.
Such honeyed words.
So good. Okay. That was so good that, can you believe that I forgot the second question I was going to ask you? Oh, I know now. I remember. How does Somnus feel about the fleetness of everything nowadays? There's not enough time for trends to set themselves in, right? There's not enough time for things to cement themselves in place in history. 6 months, there's a trend, and then no one knows about it in 1 year's time. I don't know, there's TikTok with a new trend every week. How can you grab that feeling of nostalgia if you don't have the time to imprint them in your memory?
Oh, I'm a little worried about you. I feel like you're too caught up in things. I know that you might be worried about all of this, but there's this really good TikTok I saw. It has an old song. It's a whole meme right now. It's coming back to the 80s saxophone. I bet you've never seen it, but I bet you'd like it. Oh, hey, did you know there's a YouTube React video, and if you want to see young people react to that song that you remember when you were about 10 or 11? That's happening right now. All this fastness and fleetingness, all that does is make people want to come back to me. Remember? Hey, there's a reboot coming up. Your favorite cartoon from when you were a child, they're rebooting it to a new film. I bet you're really excited about that. I know I am. Oh.
Ooh, nice. I like it. Yes. Almost if Somnus sees it as the fleetness being a vehicle to just love the things from the past more, right?
And the more unstable it is now, the more you want to come back with me, right?
Yes.
Because back then you don't have to worry about any of this. And all those little fleeting moments are just trying to come back to me. I mean, really, you, right? When you had family and friends and your first kiss, your first love. Do you remember all of those moments?
Honestly, I myself, Nunu, wants to go back now. So I think that's good.
and I know that some people are very angry about right now. About the moment, they're very angry. But that's so tiring, don't you think? Oh, there were times when nobody was angry. When everything was nice.
Who could that
When was
be?
that time?
There was
When
never
was that
that
time?
time.
Actually, that's
Just
fair.
remember it.
Cool.
I can check the record for you.
I like
Records
that.
are so... You know, is it the record that's important, or is it our memory of the record? Because my memory of the record is very nice. Oh, you just find a time in the past, and wasn't it wonderful? So romantic.
But if it happened, someone must have put it to paper. Someone must have taken a photo.
I'm gonna put a stop to this because this is too good to not be in actual gameplay. So I want to hear from our last character, and then we can get into this. So, Dots, tell us about Zero Waste.
So more than likely, she was here early, because time is fleeting and weird when you believe in the natural cycle of things. And she has definitely come through and is currently sorting the bins in the classroom, like resorting everybody's trash. But what you see is kind of this very pale green creature. She's extraordinarily tall and what we might consider kind of gangly by all human standards. She has a kind of deep auburn hair like fall leaves, and she wears all natural, completely renewable hemp clothing. Pretty much across the board. But you can see as she's digging through the trash, she is reaching in for all of the like leftover food items like compost, and she's eating it because she is basically a walking compost and recycling bin. And so she's dealing with everybody's compost at the moment, which gives her a strange smell, actually. She kind of always smells like compost. I was gonna pull up my my full list, but yeah, so she kind of smells funny. She looks like she's a little out of place here, maybe. But she is, of course, born of the tears of Gaia herself. She's about 2 cycles old. What a cycle is to you, you don't know. But she's 2 cycles old, so she's relatively young, and she's a bit naive as well. Completely unaware, or doesn't care that people maybe, or other demigods may be staring at her as she composts their breakfast. But Gaia cried the last of her love and joy to make Zero Waste happen and be able to come and walk this planet again to try to balance and rewrite the damage that has been done all these many years.
Brilliant. I also have 2 questions for you then.
Okay.
The first one being, if the mission is so pressing, if the world is suffering now, in this moment, and there's no end in sight to its suffering unless you intervene, what gives you the right to be here to hone your own power when you could be using the little power you already have to make immediate change?
Because there is literal no way for immediate change. Zero waste lives by the laws of Gaia, which is that everything is always trying to balance itself and is in a constant state of motion. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Trees don't grow overnight. Flowers don't bloom overnight. Bees don't pollinate a nest overnight. And so taking her time and being asked by Gaia herself to hone the skills necessary so that she can do more good than harm, I think is more important for her. So she's trying to understand the normality of time within this plane, and how that relates to kind of the natural cycle of things.
That makes a lot of sense. The second question I have for you is, how does the fact that there's a lot of onus on individual work of each people, of each human that inhabits the earth, to help you in this mission, right? There are people that are actively trying to help you in this mission to restore the nature to its former glory. How does it make you feel when you see people that actually have power to drive change, pouring it on people that don't have that power as an excuse?
Well, I think the whole thing probably upsets Zero Waste a little bit. Being new and naive, emotions are hard and difficult, and so there's a lot that I think she still doesn't totally understand entirely. And I think one of those things is power structure. To her, the man at the top is the same as the man at the bottom. Right? The bird in the sky is no different than the fish in the sea. They share an ecosystem and they share Gaia, and so therefore their responsibility is equal, not different based on a power structure that she doesn't really understand.
Very well. Would you say that perhaps this makes you slightly, I don't know, angry?
It might make her angry, though. I don't know. I feel like it's more confusion most of the time. But, you know, when a child gets really confused, it oftentimes manifests in anger or being upset because they don't have any other way to express themselves.
Because it's the right thing to do. I think absolutely furious.
Well.
Very fair. Okay, well, with that, friends, I think we have a better understanding of what exactly we're dealing with here in terms of personalities and in terms of dynamics we can explore. And I think we are on time to start the game proper. And for that, the scene I'm setting is exactly a scene that you've already mildly described, some of you, which is you're stepping through these portals in the middle of this classroom on your first day at MGU. It is orientation. You've been informed that there will be no actual lessons today. You're just supposed to visit the school, meet the teachers, you know, the usual. But as you arrive, no one's here to greet you apart from who you feel might be your fellow classmates.
It's just the four of us?
Yep.
I'm digging through the trash.
Hey, Teach, are you? It's gonna go up to 0. Are you eating the? Are you the teacher?
I have no lessons planned.
Okay. Okay. So what do you want us to do? Are we just gonna sit here, or?
I do not understand. You think I am the teacher?
Oh, you're not the teacher? You were here like way earlier.
No,
than
I'm
else.
simply composting.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I am in a state of compost.
Okay then. Sure. I'm pretty sure we have like lunch scheduled. You don't need to eat out of...
Oh, I do not consume for sustenance, as most creatures on this planet.
Okay, so you're composting.
Watch. And she grabs a handful of rustled papers and like eats them whole. Like, I imagine her mouth drops open a little larger than it should. And she like reconsumes it, and you see her like swallow it, and then she reaches out and puts her hand on the ground, and she makes a small like flower bloom in place of where the papers were.
Okay. Cool. Interesting. I think you might have broken like the floorboards because that flower grew straight out of the ground.
She says, "Do not worry. These boards too will return to Mother Gaia."
Mother Gaia. Okay, no, I get what you're about now. Okay, cool.
So, do you work here?
If by work, I am here to learn.
Oh, you're a student.
I am the minor goddess of renewal and reuse. Student is a term I do not understand.
Oh, okay. So we're
They call me Zero Waste.
I'm gonna call you Zero if you don't mind.
You can call me as you like, as long as it is polite.
Well, as long as you don't call us late for dinner.
What?
What
I do not
other names
understand
have
that.
you? What other names have you gone by, Zero?
This is my first life, but Gaia has gone by many names. Mother Earth, Goddess, Mother Matron Crone. She goes by many names, but she has given me Zero Waste.
Fresh page. Fascinating.
2 cycles old.
What does
Do you
I need?
define cycles?
Yeah.
The cycle of Mother Nature.
Still very vague, but I'm just gonna go along with it. Yeah. I'm Iwela. If we're going with introductions, yeah.
How many cycles old are you?
How many cycles have humans been sentient?
Oh, many, many thousands of cycles. Do
That
you
many
know
cycles.
Mother Gaia?
I've heard of her. Never met. We're not. I don't think we're like close. But I've been angry on her behalf, if that counts.
Oh, you are the rage monster.
I've been called that. Yes, I prefer the righteous anger, but rage monster works. It gets the same job done.
Righteous. Are all that use your anger righteous?
Yes, there is a god of just general wrath and anger, but that's not exactly my territory. I'm more of the righteous indignation of people. People are just angry at the things happening to them that shouldn't be happening to them.
I am angry with righteousness.
He kind of looks at
And
Zero
you're
Waste.
righteous? Or are you angry with... Are you righteous and angry? Or are you angry at righteousness?
Yes. She kind of looks confused as if maybe she doesn't know the answer. But she points to the desk and she says, I do not understand. Why must we kill the trees to sit on them?
Honestly, I can't answer that. I'm perfectly fine with sitting on the floor, but I guess seats are more comfortable.
Do you want
Is
the
this true?
chronological reason or the alphabetical reason?
Are you the teacher?
Not the teacher. A good student.
Oh. But you have
what's
the
your name?
answers as to why we make trees into furniture.
I can give you some of the answers. They're not the answers, of course, but I've kept track of quite a few.
Do you have a name, Tracker?
You can call me Anahita. You can call me the archivist. You can call me nothing at all. It won't matter.
Oh, you write the histories.
Some of it. Most of it. Okay, all of it.
All of the histories. And you. Zero Waste turns around and looks right at Somnus. Is your power hair?
Well, hair is very powerful indeed. I love your hair. It reminds me of a singer that I used to listen to when I was younger. Amazing hair.
I'm not
Song in my
hearing.
head.
What are you?
What is... Is the snapping part of it?
Oh, I was playing this song in my head. Do you have a favorite
Are you an
sound?
instrument?
Oh, some people might say so. I like to just think of, I'm Somnus,
Somnus, the instrument.
the minor god of nostalgia.
Oh. What is this?
Zero. You're here because the world's not in a good space, yes?
It is suffering.
When, do you remember when it was nicer? When the trees were strong and the brooks were clean?
No, I'm 2 cycles old.
Oh, there was a time far in the past when nature was just free. It was so nice then.
Nature is always free. But you speak as Gaia does, of times of past.
That's my power, I suppose.
As you finish this conversation, finally, you start noticing the environment around you. Specifically that, although you are indoors in a building, sunlight appears to peer through the sky. When you look up, you notice that there's no roof, just a blue sky with plump clouds and sun rays seeping through it, illuminating the entire room as if, this wasn't a building. And as you notice this specific thing, from the wall down here, this flash of color starts to appear, and with it, a voice booms through the room. And it says something that you can't quite understand. It just starts, no, I'm telling you, this is not on. Oh, yes it is. Hello, welcome new students. I am your principal, Ra, and I would like to welcome you to your first day of school. We are very excited to see your potential and to see what you can do. And as well, we want you to meet all, the teachers of the university and learn a little bit about what you're going to be doing to hone your powers and learn more about making this world a place. Note that I did not say a better place, because it is up to each one of us to do whatever we decide in the end with our powers. But we'll definitely make it our place. Anyway, you have 3 tasks. You should direct yourselves either to the second year classroom, the library, or the indoor gardens. You can do it in any order, it does not matter. But once you are done, you'll be instructed to your 4th location. Good luck! And the sound pulse suddenly dies as the voice crackles down in the street.
So that was Raw. That's cool. Why did they say good luck? Isn't it should be pretty easy to just go to a couple of rooms, right?
All knowledge is a trial.
You know what? I just would love us to take a moment, all of us together. We are the class of this cycle, and I know it might be a little bit early to say, but this will be the best times of our lives. We will look back at these moments and think so fondly of this.
I hope not. I have plans to see a tree grow to full bloom.
I want to stop wanting to punch people in the face. So I really hope this isn't the best it gets.
Punch? Kind of her brow furrows.
Don't worry. You have a lot to learn.
What is this library?
Only one way to
Anahita,
find
you
out.
probably know this. You seem like the books kind of person. You're probably better at explaining it than I am.
What is this library? It is a collection of thoughts and opinions and ideas. Some deemed to be more worthy than others. I suppose it's worth seeing what the gods have elevated to their status if they're willing to hold on to these beliefs here.
I don't see why not. We can start with the library then.
Yes.
So,
I have never been to a library.
Yeah,
well, as
two
students,
cycles.
I think we'll spend a lot of time in this library, I think.
I'm starting to think cycles is days.
I don't know.
Or
I'm just going with
years.
it.
Centuries. I like to think in terms of summers.
Okay,
Seasons.
I'm gonna go. Okay.
Oh,
Um,
a cycle is the full rotation of the beautiful sun around the Gaia herself. The cycle of the seasons. You
okay.
have seen the seasons change, yes?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Oh, you should sit under a cherry blossom tree and watch all four.
Oh, I don't have the patience for that one.
I'll read a poem about it.
Yeah.
You'll notice that this
You know.
door here has a portal activated. So whenever you choose to, you can travel to what seems to be a hallway.
Yeah, let's go.
Does somebody have something against trees? As I like put my hand on the door. Why is everything made of dead trees? Go to
Quite
the
useful.
hallway?
I see a lot of potential in you, Zero Waste. I see a lot of potential.
Did I do it right? I don't think I did it right. How does one open door? There we go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
You have to,
I'm in it.
there's a handle. You just turn it.
Nice. As you exit into this corridor, right, you notice that the ceiling is exactly the same. Every ceiling in this building seems to be the same old sky? Question mark? Illusion of a sky? Who knows at this point? But another thing you notice is that towards your right, screen left, you notice there are other people here, other entities? Question mark? They seem to be conversing amongst themselves.
And I sidle up next to Zero and I say, libraries are where the Slayer goes to meet her friends, and sometimes there are musical numbers in them.
The
They
Slayer.
do research on demons and whatnot.
This sounds dreadful.
Oh, it's okay, because at the end of an hour, everything is fine.
An hour. What is this?
It's a real small part of a cycle.
Oh, I see.
As you huddle around the group, right? They start to like uncomfortably look at you, then suddenly see new face and it's like, okay, I get it. And you see as this raven-esque kind of individual is the first one to just cock their head in your direction and chime up with, you must be the first year student then.
Yeah.
I remember my first year. It was fun.
Oh, say more.
Oh no.
I didn't know what I was supposed to do, but now I kind of know a bit more. Forgive my rudeness. I am Odin's son. I'm finishing third year.
Oh, Odin, son.
Does that mean you will bloom?
And in a way, my aptitude will bloom.
I
Kind of looks at the other three, kind of confused.
I've never seen an aptitude flower before. I look forward to seeing your blossom in bloom.
Well, I hope you're still here when the year finishes. Then you can see it bloom.
Oh, I too hope for another cycle.
So cycle is a year. Okay, we've got that. We figured that out.
I nailed it.
Yes. Okay. But again, like, I don't know if anyone else is noticing this, but Odinson, Iwela, interactions, blah blah blah. You're the second person to imply that we probably won't be here. Like, next year, is there a reason why? Is it like expulsion rate high, suspension rate, is death high? Because the whole good luck thing from Ra was there.
We are instructed not to scare the first year students.
You do realize that's terrifying, the fact you just said that.
Now I realize it. I should. I am not the best at speech and interactions. And you see as the lady next to him with these strings attached to what seems to be deer antlers with dazzling gems swinging like a pendulum at the end of them, steps in front of Odinson. It is okay. It's better if he does not speak. I am Remy. I am also Serdir, and things happen. You will notice that we are just three of us. It's not like the other two are missing. There are 5 students per year, but as 3 are the only ones that made it to the Serdir.
What happened to them?
What is the...
I'm not at liberty to disclose, but they just didn't pursue their academic career as expected.
Who is at liberty to disclose this?
Sorry? What was that?
Who is at liberty to disclose this information?
The teachers.
If there are 5 per year, well, there are only 4 of us here.
I was about to ask the same question. Where is the 5th member?
We have no clue. I mean, I have no clue. Does that do any of you?
No,
Well-
it seems like we have some work to do.
Interesting. And I find it... maybe this year is just 4, but usually it's always 5. And I don't know. Do you know anyone that has... I don't know, their abilities have awakened about the same time as yours, same power level. Usually people are invited are very similar.
Yeah, I mean, I know of someone. I'm hoping they didn't get invited as well.
I do not know. Maybe not. The truth is... maybe if they're not here, maybe they just didn't accept, you know?
I hope that's the case.
I think y'all see Zero Waste is like solidly frozen and staring at this beautiful woman with these antlers. And is a little enamored right now, like totally enamored by her, by this woman. And she says, "Did you grow those yourself?"
Oh, these old things? Yes, actually, I did.
I have tried for horns for nigh on a cycle and have had no luck.
Oh, I do not... No, I'm an aspect of the natural world, you know? So
I do. Boy, howdy, do I ever.
You two will be fast friends, I think.
Oh,
Friends.
You'll remember this moment when you first met.
Yes, I shall. I shall.
oh, this is kind of rude, so I apologize if it is, but can I ask you what your thing is?
Thing. I do not understand this term, but I am Zero Waste. The minor god of renewal and recycling. Well, no. Yes, renewal and reuse.
Oh, that is it. That is the thing I was talking about. Your domain. Your. We don't like to talk about it because it might change during the years. You know, as you hone your powers. It might fluctuate a little bit. So it doesn't mean
I
that you
shall
need to...
never leave the shadow of Gaia, for she is both my mother and my creator.
Okay.
Usually are creators, I think.
I mean,
Who
it depends.
created
It
you?
depends how you think about it.
Mothers. By the way, aren't mothers... Do you remember the smell of your mother?
No, I don't.
She
I
smells
was
of
created
dirt
by the-
and leaves and decay.
I bet that's
Sounds
comforting.
pleasant.
It is.
Iwela, what is your favorite smell?
Ooh,
I guess I don't have one. It's not you. You smell like Old Spice, and it's honestly, it's a lot.
yes, is this your natural pheromones?
Oh,
Oh.
boy, it's anything but. Oh, it's not natural. I
No.
don't think anything in Old Spice is natural.
But it's old. And it reminds you of things. But if there's a smell that you remember from your past that you love very much, what might it be?
I guess you're not going to stop until I answer that. So, I think it was back right at the point of my first existence, I suppose, when humans first started being able to understand and feel this stuff like righteous anger rather than just general anger. And back then it was also a much cleaner place. I feel like Zero Waste would enjoy that. Just the clean air, I think, would be it. The least amount of anger around as well. So I guess that's probably why it's a pleasant smell to me. I connect the two.
Huh. I would like to use one of my abilities.
Oh,
I would like to use, I believe it's magic tricks, or I can produce a magical effect to surprise, delight, or confuse those around. And I can choose any combination of these effects, but I would like, it's cost me 0 action points or ability points, and I would like to conjure smell exactly of what Ella was remembering from way back when. That smell that they like so much. The smell of the clean earth. And I would like to conjure that smell here in this space.
Well, I
And
need to ask,
just
what's
a
your
little bit
goal?
of green and decay. For,
Is your
for
goal to
Zero.
like cheer him up?
Yeah, just to delight you. Because my goal is always to make everyone feel very, very good.
I'm
their
trying to decide if
memories.
that's gonna make him happy or angry. Because like,
Who knows?
it's a reminder of what
Yes.
is not happening anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I think like, and like he's mentioned, he has been angry on behalf of Gaia before. So I think he's kind of like, he smells it, and then you just see that his eye twitch, and then just turns to Zero Waste and just goes, "How are you not angry? Just for your whole 2 cycles, because I've met you for maybe 10 minutes. That's also a small fraction of a cycle, by the way, before you ask. And you're probably the most cheerful person I've ever come across. But you have all the reason to be angry."
'tis true. But my entire being is made up of the last of Gaia's joy and love and nurturing. So
Well,
I am unsure if I have the capacity for such feelings.
I think I have a new goal. I'm going to teach you how to be angry.
Yes, I am here to learn. I am open to new experiences.
At this point, you hear a voice that hasn't chimed in yet. From the back, just leaning against the wall, arms crossed, smug smirk across his face. You see this nonchalant student, just like no care in the world. Y'all are too dramatic. That'll pass.
Oh. And what's the right amount of dramatics?
Well, honestly, I don't really care. In actually getting to know you, and you're kind of just annoying me at this point because, like, 2 of you probably won't be here next year. So if you make it to next year, then I'll make an effort of knowing who you are. How does that sound? Oh wait, but I won't be here anymore, so I really don't care.
So charming. It's like a toddler, out of sight, out of mind. How is your object permanence?
That was good. That was really good.
I'd let you know that all these retorts, all these quips, I don't really care for them. You can say whatever you want. It's not going to affect me.
Are you? I need
Yet
to
you're
ask.
here.
Are you like apathy? Is that your thing?
No,
This term thing. What is your thing?
my thing started as being just control over tiles. Then I kind of improved it a little bit. And I can just mess with checkered patterns. But that's about it. Very disillusioned with the world, though. Because that's the thing.
I'm so
Are
sorry.
you saying you are a master tactician, as in you see the world as a chessboard, or?
And he kind of lifts his hands, and you see that the pattern on his shirt kind of shifts around, almost like an optical illusion.
Oh,
Nope.
boy.
Interesting. I have heard that the entire essence of everything in this planet is built on a spiral, a helix, which is in fact made up of a checkerboard shape on average. Can you also control the fabric of reality?
Nope.
You seem sad. Have a flower.
You stretch your hand with the flower and just looks at it for like an awkward 5 seconds nonstop. Yeah, okay.
It is a
And
gift.
takes it.
A flower for the footnote. No issue. We will see you again.
Oh, what's your name?
Loris.
Boris?
Loris.
Loris.
Floris?
Floris.
Chorus.
Chorus? Is it
Oh,
chorus?
I love a
You look
chorus.
like a chorus.
What is a chorus?
Oh, it's when everyone comes together and sings in harmony, and everything is beautiful.
No, that's a walrus.
Like summertime in a breeze.
Yes.
He's just like deadpan, no emotion. looks at Odinson and just says, "Man, gonna have a favor to ask when it's dusk," and doesn't say anything else.
Everyone's been introducing their thing. Odinson, do you mind me asking? I mean, like, I know you're like related to Odin, but I just want to ask, like, what's your thing?
Yeah. So my thing is not very useful. You see, our year was the first one that attended the school, so the threshold was still a bit low. That's why I also don't talk too much about my father, because I'm not as
He's
you
kinda
know.
like he's a really
I don't
big
have
deal,
a
and,
daddy
like, even-
either.
But I have one. He just doesn't.
Then
Okay.
why are you so sad?
Because Odin is like huge, like he's really big, and honestly, if your thing isn't as
Maybe
com-
Mother
like, in
Gaia would
comparison-
like to meet Odin. She too is rather large.
I'm pretty sure they met at a certain point. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
maybe.
I believe that
My father
family
knows
tree
everyone.
intersects actually at a few points. You might be related.
Oh
Are we siblings?
no.
Oh,
Maybe long.
It's
just
more like a
related.
cousin
Yeah,
situation.
really
Don't dig too
distant
deep into
from what
things
I've
like
heard.
this.
Yeah,
it's like a branch of a branch.
Exactly. But yeah, no. I am useless, except for the 15 minutes during dusk. Then I'm really good at what I do.
What is it you
What do
do
you do?
during the dusk?
I can control dusk, but only when it's present.
That is wonderful.
I mean,
What does that mean?
it's better than checkered patterns. I'll be honest. So you're not doing too bad.
He laughs. He chuckles a little bit.
Oh, that's so sad.
Hey, Loris. When
Yeah?
I think about checkerboard patterns, I think about that diner. The black and white checkerboard pattern, that diner with everything is chrome, and it's one of the most beautiful things I can remember. So I think about you, and I think about good memories.
Oh,
It's
He
at
looks
this
at
point
you.
that-
Go for it.
It's at this point that Anahita, who's as Somnus has continued speaking in these vague terms throughout this conversation, finally snaps and goes, "Where? What time? What was the day, the year? Give me something to fixate on. You only speak in these vague terms, and it's the first time her voice has ever reached like just above, normal speaking tone.
You just hear like Iwela like give into it, just really lean into it.
Oh. And Somnus, just like a little bit closer. You love books.
What of
I conjure the smell of parchment, like papyrus. Just the smell of papyrus in the air.
Why does it smell like dead trees?
What is your favorite book?
I have a favorite book. But do you? You are a question asker, but you give no answers.
The answers are in your heart and in your memories.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They've been published, and they're on a page, and I can point to the author and the day and the time and who did it. Can you point to anything?
When did you get
Just
your
like
first
takes Zero Waste's hand down, like not you.
Do you remember your first book?
I do. It was Pliny the Elder's guide to medicine and natural herbs. And I know when he wrote it. But what about you? Is there anything that you have as a favorite? No time for re-erection. I know you're kind.
I live in your memories.
I will solve this yet. And she returns to the group.
Loris, at this point, just chimes in. Y'all are really, really weird. It's gonna be an interesting year, huh?
Shut up, checkers.
You just see like Iwela just smile, like the first time for the whole of today, just goes, it's gonna be great.
All right. Enough with the attitude. Don't you have places to be, teachers to meet? Get out of my sight. And he like slowly shifts the pattern of the ground tiles, and you kind of move one step in that direction.
Oh my god.
Well, do not be sad. We will be back and bring many, many gifts of knowledge from the teachers we have yet to meet.
At this rate, I think I'll only be sad if you come back, honestly.
Well, we do not want to make you sad, though the occasional sadness during the winter months around a fire can be rather comforting.
Just don't forget him. Just do your thing, and then later during the day, at the end of the day, once orientation is done, I can show you all around. And don't worry about. They are just too pessimistic. I get you.
You'll be here later today?
Yes.
Then so shall I.
Well, see you soon then. Good luck. The teachers are fine. Some of them are a bit boring, but it's fine.
Thanks for the heads up.
Boring? What is boring?
Oh, I think you're gonna learn. You're going to learn.
Okay.
As we walk away, I just conjure a little bit of like the Smiths or the Cure for Loris. Just a little bit of very sad, mopey music. Maybe a little bit of, just a little emo music, just from about, just from the past, just maybe about the time when they were in high school, just,
early days, Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, just a little mopey music for them.
I don't understand these strange noises. Is this boring?
Oh, yeah, depending on who you ask, honestly. But Zero Waste, I just have a question. I know you're just 2 cycles old. You and let me just get a name. How do you pronounce the antler woman's name?
Louis-Me.
Louis-Me. You and Louis me. You kind of like a. It might just be me. It might just be me. Is anyone else seeing this? But there's something going on. Like, are you
I
crushing
have
on?
a deep desire to touch her antlers.
Oh boy. I think
They're
that's like
very furry.
That's a third date at least.
Zero.
Date.
This may be the best thing ever. Your first love.
I'm going to.
My first love? I remember my first love. It was watching a baby bird hatch from an egg.
Oh, we're talking about a different love, but that's actually very cute.
Cute. Sure. Do you think she'd let me touch her antlers?
Third date. Take it slow.
Third date. I don't know what this
Try a
is.
coffee first.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Oh, I don't know if you're
Yes.
going to be happy with coffee.
Yep.
Let's grind this down. Run some hot water through it.
I'm thinking a school dance. That's what we might need. Or
Dance.
I'm thinking a school library. I think.
Yes, I was going to say
I would like to
exact same
see
thing.
this strange location.
So you're instructed to go to 3 places. You have the second year classroom, the library, and the inner garden. The library is through there. It appears that that's your first destination.
I am making a list of locations because Dot has some memory.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Than the
I'll keep
average
reminding
player.
you. Don't worry.
it's me. It's Somnus. I'm messing with all of your memories in a way. You know, everything's vague. I love Anahita because like really
Somnus got me
vagueness.
fucked up.
Yeah, it's all vagueness.
Which one is
Damn.
Vagueness.
So is it this door down here? The one
It's the
farther
staircase.
down
The
The big
hallway?
staircase.
The staircase
Oh!
on the left. On the left of the screen.
Okay, here I go. I think.
The cool thing about
I may have
Omnis,
to refresh.
anything
There
can
we
be a
go.
portal.
Anything.
Foot and another foot, and then,
And then
easy
I
with
go.
the
Go. Did it do it?
Should be.
For the
Okay, I'm on my
record,
way.
I just want to make it just for the record because I just realized this because of the amazingness of Sarah. Somnus is a little like you know when you're watching a film and there's that nice soft focus lens over someone, and it's a little like there's just a little soft focus lens over Somnus at all times. Just a little.
A black cloud, rain cloud.
Just a little kind
Just
of
a
like,
little,
oh,
like the Vaseline over the photo lens kind of touch.
yes it is.
I can't see you.
I love it. You walk up this massive staircase and you enter
This
what
is
seems
not.
to be
This is not accessible. They really should have like a elevator or just something to. You know, not everyone can go up these stairs. Honestly,
I
little bit
think
annoying.
Zero Waste screeches a little bit when she walks into the library. There's like a very sad eep. Like,
And I think as you
yeah.
say that, Iwela, like the staircase behind you rearranges into ramp.
Okay, I like it.
But yeah, as you enter this room, instantly the smell of slightly gathered dust and old tomes and book binding and leather hits your nostrils immediately. And probably for you, Anahita, this is like such a calming and comforting feeling in comparison to the stress that you were dealing with just now.
This makes sense.
And as you
no matter
enter
where
the...
you go, paint smells the same.
Indeed. And as you enter this first section where the corridor kind of amples a little bit and there's like bookshelves already on each side of the wall, you notice more students. This time you see a girl standing next to this table and what seems to be a plant-like creature standing on top of a chair, and they're just like looking down on what seems to be a paradise.
Ooh,
Not paradise, like that wonderful place.
not that paradise.
strange plant-like being. You are rather beautiful. What is your name?
Hello. Hi. What did you ask? Sorry.
Name? What do you call yourself in this season?
Sorry, wasn't paying attention. Name? Chlor. Just Chlor.
Where do you grow from, Chlor?
I grow from the waist up.
I did once too.
Hmm. Wait, were you potted?
No. In fact, I rose from a watery bed made of Gaia's tears.
I don't like that too much. Too much humidity messes with my... and kind of flails around his little appendages, plant-like appendages. Messes with my balance.
Chlor, I must ask, as a chloroform-based being, why do you hang out in a tree crypt?
Hey... Huh? A what?
Tree crypt. It smells of death and decayed trees. I can hear their screams.
Oh.
But... He looks like very, very confused. Like,
Oh.
Are you okay?
Did you not know? Oh.
No. Is she talking about wood?
Wood and the books as well, honestly, yes.
Oh.
And the
It's
hide
fine.
of animals. It is very sad in here.
Oh boy, I'm not qualified to tackle this one. Let me try. It's things that are being reused. So their original form was deconstructed, and now they're being used after their time was done.
Oh. So you have given the trees new purpose in their death.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
I
Reuse or do?
better understand this cycle. What is their new purpose?
Memories.
Oh,
No,
to educate.
no memories.
These are our teachers. The dead trees become our teachers.
In a way, yes. In a way. Oh, okay. This is very confusing. You see, at this point, like the other student is just laying against the bookshelf, just like hiding a smile the entire time, just like
Iwela just
snickering.
openly smiling, just like just leaning back and watching this happen. It's like, it's gonna be great. This is
I
fun.
am
I
learning
take
much
Zero's
today.
hand. I take Zero's hand and I bring her over to one of the tomes that I've pulled out. Be like, there is still purpose to these trees and the uses that we have for them. See here, we have the records of wars and dates and of good times and, bad times as well. All throughout the different cycles that we have here, they still have purpose. It's just not of waste.
Ah, interesting. The dead trees become writ stories.
Exactly. As they spoke to you, they speak to us now.
They are much quieter when they are dead between animal hide.
Most people are.
Yes, this seems to check out. Do you like these dead trees bound with animal hides?
I do.
This must be. This is a rather large tree crypt. I hope it is the only one in the world.
Oh boy.
Who's gonna tell her?
I just want to see it happen because I think that's when I will swoop in and be like, "Hey, righteous anger. Think about it." You know? No. Oh, that's my
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, your thing.
others.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask. It's rude.
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Okay.
There was a film about a group of people who, at first, they didn't know each other, but they all had to sit and have breakfast, detention, in a library. And each one was a different type. There was the princess, sort of pointing to Zero, the athlete, pointing to Iwela, the brain, pointing to Anahita, and I suppose I'm the criminal?
Hey,
Someone
do
asked
me.
me that.
What about me?
You're the basket case. Baskets are made out of plants. And we all come together and we spend a whole afternoon together. And then in the end, we become fast friends. And then there's music.
I would like to find friends. Mother Gaia said that is an important part of my trajectory upon this planet.
Now, is that something that happened to you, Somnus, or was that a story?
Didn't it happen to all of us in some way? Can't you remember it?
In fact, no.
Well, it will. Because this is our moment. All of us together, fast friends.
Yes.
As you turn to face the entirety of the collection of people here, Somnus, you see that Clore is just like wide-eyed, transfixed on you, and just it stretches out this little planty pseudopod, almost as in an give me a high five fashion.
Don't you?
No,
Dream about me.
we're not doing that. No, let's stop. We're here for a reason.
What? What?
You can do that at lunch, you know, how you can go on a date, you can do the whole singing thing, freeze frame, all of that stuff.
What is this date? And why does Somnus keep making strange sounds? I do not understand. And why would I forget about you? I am
I
2
hope you
cycles
don't.
old.
Well,
I don't
sometimes
think
you have
that
to
shall
forget
happen.
things. Sometimes to have the best memories, you just have to forget about things to make things just a little bit nicer.
Gaia would disagree. She says if we forget, then it will all be destroyed.
Wouldn't you like people to forget about hatred and harm?
I've never met hatred.
Oh, he's not great.
Oh, he's not nice?
No.
Maybe he needs a flower.
It would not help him. Trust
It
me.
will
on that.
help hatred. I shall meet this hatred one day.
Oh, please,
and give them a hug.
Oh boy.
Maybe a bamboo tree. You know, taking care of plants is a wonderful way to heal the heart. Even though I don't technically have one, I survive entirely off sunlight and decomposition.
Yeah, the composting. Yeah, no, I remember.
I also survive only on sun. I just wanted to.
Oh,
Never mind.
would you like to share in a sunshine dinner one day?
Oh, I'd
I
like
just
that.
met the person who makes dusk happen. That seems appropriate. Maybe all 3 of us can share in dinner.
Maybe. Can I? It turns to the person next. Can I go? She's like, I'm not your mother. What are you talking about? In that case, I can go, right? Yeah, I can go. We'll.
I use my magic trick to bring the little illusion, of a boombox over my head, and out of the boombox is coming
slap it
the
out.
sounds of nature.
I'm gonna come and slap it out.
Can I?
No.
Can I cast sleep on somebody?
Oh my god.
Are you trying to target a player or an NPC? What?
Player?
I don't know. Let me guess. Somnus, are you okay with that?
Oh yeah. Dreams are wonderful.
I want to know what it will take to put him. Because with a name like Somnus, and I do have the ability sleep, it takes up 2 of my action points. You whisper a brief lullaby, putting any number of nearby commoners to sleep for up to 1 hour. You write your own lullaby or borrow one from another author. Yeah. So, am I allowed to do this?
Usually it's for NPCs, but if a trooper is on board, go for it.
Might
will say you
I,
can
I'm
take a spin
willing
on it
to
as well.
try it, but I'm leaving it up to you to decide if it works.
Yes.
Like, that's kind
might
of the move.
I offer you a trade?
Yeah, what's up?
When you sing a lullaby, I would like to harmonize with you and cast a spell of my own in return. But mine will
Ooh,
not
do
take
it.
effect until later.
I'll take this risk.
Okay.
I'm down for this.
I will spend one of my points. As you start a lullaby,
I'll spend
where's your
2.
lullaby from?
So for
Which one do you
as
choose?
as you were singing, "Don't You Forget About Me," I'm also saying it in kind of like a slightly slower pitch. So it's like you're like, "Don't you forget about me," and then I add in my own layer to that. And it's not done in like a very overt way.
Yep.
I make eye contact with you from across the table so that you're aware of what I'm doing. And I say, "Don't you forget about me," and cast sleep.
And as you do, I will do 2 little casts. One is, do you remember Inside Story at the dance, the gym, when Tony and Maria see each other and everything else goes a little bit blurry?
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes a little bit blurry just for my magic tricks. And then, as I sing with you, I cast Ren's Delightful Dream as I fall asleep.
Ooh.
When you next sleep, you will experience a deeply comforting dream. The most comforting dream you've ever had, and you will wake up feeling beloved, and you will forget all of your grudges for the next week.
Damn, that's good. That's
As
so
I-
good. That's
I'm
so
loving
good.
As I
Yes.
sort of like, I see you across the library, right? And everything gets just a little sparkly and vague, and then I just sort of fall asleep. As I sort of last eyes, I fall asleep.
That should buy us 1 hour.
Delightful.
Are they hibernating?
Just for a minute. They'll be.
They didn't
A-okay.
even stock up on food. How shall they survive the winter?
I think Somnus has fed off of us enough for the evening.
Oh. I look down to make sure I'm not missing any parts since Somnus fed on us. See me check for bites. Interesting. I shall take this under deep consideration.
Hey, you're Claw? Claw, am I saying that right?
That's me. Yes, hi.
Iwela. What's your name? And I'm gonna turn to the woman that was the person accompanying Claw.
Me? Call
Yeah.
me Susie.
Susie.
Yeah.
Susie, okay. I know apparently it's a rude thing to ask, so I'm just gonna be like, Susie.
You want to know, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to ask you without it being offensive. I'm sorry.
She swipes the dice from the table, rolls them, and a pair of sixes comes out.
You're like the deity of dice.
Kinda. Geometrical shapes is the accurate descriptor. I started as only being able to do cubes, and now I'm developing with the help of our second year teacher to kind of improve that a little bit. And I also have like extra hours with the garden keeper to hone that, and now I can do more shapes. But it takes a while. It takes practice.
That's actually pretty impressive. We met some guy that was just like in charge of checkers.
Loris?
Yeah, it was kind of honestly very sad.
Why do people dislike the checkers? It is his thing.
It's like, you know, it's not much of a thing, and honestly, checkers aren't really flattering on anyone. Yeah.
It's just a shame. It's just a shame because if you think about it, they could do like a lot of things. A lot of things have checkered patterns, but they just don't bother.
Maybe it's because everyone tells him that his powers are not powerful.
Maybe.
I mean,
I
if
shall
someone
tell
told me
him his
that.
powers are powerful, and see if it changes.
Good luck with that. But sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm a little bit worried about you, Zero. I feel like he's gonna. I just want to make it clear. You're very sweet, and that's why I'm a little bit worried. But
Sweet. Like a strawberry. In
Yes,
fact, actually, I take nothing like a strawberry. I'm more like a fern.
oh, okay. Well, I've never tasted a fern, and I don't think I should.
Would you like
But I'm
to?
gonna say no.
Okay.
Again, I feel
I
that's like
will
a third date
regenerate.
thing.
Oh, it's like the horns.
Yes. By
What
you know
is-
what you'll learn. Oh yeah.
Since everyone here seems a lot more forward than our friends in the hallway, I must know, did your friends disappear after first year?
Oh, yeah, they tend to do that. Yeah, 2 of their year kind of had some kind of thing. They didn't tell us, but no, we still have 5 in our year. Maybe it's something that happens at the end of the second. Who knows? Guess we'll find out. And as she completes this sentence, right, you notice that from the end of the corridor, someone approaches in very slow steps. I thought I heard some voices coming from here. It took you long enough. I've been waiting for a while. I assumed you went to another place first, maybe the second year classroom or the garden, but apparently not. You're just getting to know the place, right?
Well, we are asking everyone about their things.
Ah, very typical first-year curiosity. I like it. Anyway, I think it's time for your first little lesson, don't you think?
Are you
Oh,
a
you're
teacher?
the teacher.
I am a teacher, yes. My name
Do
is
you have a name?
Saraswati, yes.
Oh.
You could say that my thing is knowledge.
Oh.
I like point at
You
Anahita.
come by many names, don't you?
I do. The more prominent one, the one I tend to assume the form of, is the name given to me by the Hindu religion.
Yes, that is the most recent after all. This is certainly enlightening. You're our teacher. Why weren't you with us in the main classroom?
I guess your first lesson was to discover the place on your own. I wanted you to come to me, and you did.
Did we pass?
This one, yes. I have another test for you, though.
Oh.
But
And
it
as-
seems we are missing a classmate.
Indeed, it does seem like that. But sometimes things are exactly what they look like. And if they are away, why change it?
I don't understand.
Don't love that.
And that is why we'll have a full year of classes just about knowledge. This is your assignment for the first year, just theoretical studies. So get ready.
So we must stare at dead books for a cycle?
Not only books, other means of learning and acquiring knowledge are also possible. Deduction, inferring things.
There is a duck?
There can be a duck if you want to.
I like ducks.
Zero,
Interesting.
it's about epistemology, how we know what we know. It's thrilling, it's exciting. It might have a duck, sure.
You see as she waves her hand and a tiny baby duck appears in her hand.
It is a deduction.
Yes, it is.
It is indeed.
I
Now-
am learning so much on my first day of this educational cycle.
Now imagine what you can learn with 3 full years. That is the goal here.
Oh. I look forward to many more deductions.
Are you ready for your first serious task?
I mean,
Oh,
we were
wait,
quite
we
literally
should
born
wake
ready,
up.
I feel like.
We should wake up Somnum.
Oh, okay.
Yes, wait.
I'm gonna whack him across the head.
Okay.
Good morning.
Wake up, Sleeping Beauty.
How did your hibernation go?
Muted.
I think you're muted.
You're muted, trooper.
I had the most beautiful dreams.
Yes?
And then I was hit in the back of the head.
That was me.
Oh. This is going to be a thing between us. And when you
Yeah.
look back at this in the future, you're going to
Oh,
remember
no.
the good times.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Very well. Huddle.
Oh, hello, I'm Somnus.
A pleasure to meet you.
This is our teacher with a deduction.
Oh, a tax thing? Taxes aren't fun.
Tax. I've never met a tax.
This is going to
Oh.
be an interesting year. And she kind of gives a funny look towards Clore and Susie, like, you've been here before last year. It was fun. Very well. The task is simple. The task is... And let's find out after this quick break.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that finishes our first
Get
half
into 10.
of
Yeah.
our
Hell yeah.
game. Let's have 10 minutes break. Just go, stretch your legs, drink some water, do whatever you have to do. And then we'll come back for part 2 of MGU orientation.
Wait, I do want to ask. Do
Oh.
we want to do Discordic Inspiration. A reroll.
Oh,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you go ahead and go take it away.
What does that do?
It's
Drac
a tradition
here.
that we have here.
yeah, Drac here is going to post
Yeah.
something on our Discord, right?
Oh.
And I'm going to... There we go. The link is in chat if you haven't joined it yet. And it will be a message for you to give a slight advantage to one of our characters here. If you're liking a character in particular and want to aid them, you can give that slight advantage. For quest is kind of tricky, but I'm going to call it a reroll. So you can reroll the die once. Or if you're feeling like they're cool enough, they don't need any help, you can give it to me, and I can. If I roll a die, I can reroll it if it happens, and that can be in opposition or in favor of the players, because I am benevolent like that, or I can be. So yeah, Drac's going to post that in our general channel in Discord. The link is in chat. Join it if you haven't joined it before, and vote. There will be a series of emotes, one emote for each character, and choose the one you want to give this Discordic inspiration to. And we'll come back from break and announce who won this Discordic inspiration. Without further ado,
Amazing.
see
y'all
you soon.
See you in just a few minutes.
Please give it to me. Fix the hair.
Hello.
Fix the hair.
Are we live?
Hello.
We are back. Hello.
Hello.
Did you miss us? No? Maybe? Just a little bit? Hopefully?
Just a little bit.
Maybe not, but doesn't matter because we're here all the same, ready to play part 2 of this game, which honestly, it's going brilliantly. I'm loving all these interactions and your characters like mesh so well together. And even by accident, they mesh so well with some of the NPCs and their things, as I'm calling them as well. It's really cool. So let's see where this leads. Before that, we have to evaluate who got our inspiration from our Discord server.
Yeah.
And the winner is...
I think by a landslide. Yep.
0 ways!
0 ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of us are kind of tied for it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all either
So-
feel really, really bad for her. You actually really like her. I don't
I
know.
think
Doesn't
everyone really
care.
loves
I win.
That's
Victory!
what matters.
So you get one reroll. Then we call it Discordic Inspiration. I came up
Nice.
with the name. Very
That's
proud
very
of it.
cool.
It's great.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
So what does that do? Just as a reminder for Dot.
A reroll. You get
Reroll.
just one reroll.
Just a
whenever you
just a
want
single
to.
reroll.
Yeah.
If you don't use it...
Anytime you want to take the chance.
Exactly.
go
If you
for
don't
it.
use it this session, I'm going to say it can carry over to next week.
Cool. I'll add it to my notes page. Thanks, Discord.
Hey! Brilliant. Okay. In that case, I propose we jump back into action immediately as you were just about to huddle up around Saraswati, the Hindu goddess of knowledge, as she was about to tell you what your next task is about to be. And she lowers her tone of voice a little bit when she says, your next task is to find out. And then she starts looking towards the other end of the library. What is the deal with the librarian?
What's the
Okay.
deal?
Is
What is his
is this a pop
story?
quiz? I have an answer.
Oh. You
They
do?
are the tree killer, the crypt keeper of all of the dead trees.
That's one narrative.
That is one way to put it, but that is their occupation, their current state of affairs, let's say. What I want you to find out is the story behind the librarian.
Oh.
Why he's here, why they're here, and why they are what they are, and what they are. The more details you can find out, the happier I will be with your answer.
Okay. So we're just gonna ask them. Is just what we're gonna do, right?
That seems like the most polite option.
The strategy is yours to choose. Good luck.
Oh.
And she promptly takes a seat in one of these chairs, which is way too small for her.
Oh.
Let us ask.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout.
As you guys head one
Anahita.
direction, Anahita actually heads in another. I don't want to ask them. She did not specify whose definition of this being. So I think I'm going to ask some others. Clearly, we're not the first to get this assignment.
Brilliant. Sounds good. All right, so let's split the action in two. Let's resolve whoever's going towards the librarian first.
Okay.
Question: is the librarian in their office?
It seems
Or
to be
is-
some kind of like checkout counter, right?
The front desk.
Yeah, front
circulation.
desk. That's the name of it.
Is there an office? Does the librarian have an office in this library?
Not that you can see, no. It seems to be there's only one door, and it's towards the end here. But it doesn't seem to lead to an office. Actually, it seems like it leads to an outdoors place, which is kind of contradictory.
Okay.
I want to follow my very best friend.
Oh boy, this is gonna be. I want to hear this from the other side of the library.
I like it. Okay.
No, honestly, I prefer it. I think that you might be very handy for this next part.
Brilliant. In which case, let's start here. With Zero Waste and Iwela just arriving at the front desk, where this massive creature with a mask made of gold, and you peer into their eyes, and it seems to be just like empty, devoid of any emotion, devoid of any feeling, devoid of any material thing. And they stand there, hands close together, slightly hovering above ground. What do you do?
Hey, can I check my Winston memo? But I need to check my sheet 'cause I think I have something perfect for this. I think. Hold on. I can't open my character sheet because we're in cinematic mode.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
There you go. I have an ability called Declare.
Ooh.
Once per scene, you declare a reason you're intervening in a matter, sealing a resolve. The reason should be based on your ideal, which I think is. I need to check my character sheet for that. But choose one result. You immediately make a successful basic attack, which I'm not going to attack them. Or I compel an NPC to explain what they are doing. Can I twist that to be like? Compel an NPC to tell me their story.
I'm gonna say that if you want to twist an ability, that seems to be tempting fate, and hence a die roll.
Okay, I'll do it. I'm going to die roll.
1 hour 20 in, first roll of the night. Let's go.
Yeah.
1 hour 40 actually. Here we go. So 15 is a success. Okay. How I'm going to spin this is how does this happen? Is it a sentence that you say like laced with power, or how does it work?
So I think as we probably the chances are Zero is like rushing ahead, but as Iwela and Zero are heading towards the librarian, and Iwela just like, I guess I have to do this to finally get that piece I need, because I have to say what my deal is, and that's my ideal, and I need to pass this to hopefully get to the point of peace. And he approaches the librarian and just says, listen, I know you're very busy, a lot of students coming in and out of here. We were tasked to find out your story, what your deal was, and I just thought it would be nice to just approach you instead of like snooping around. So would you mind telling us what your story is?
And there's an awkward silence as your words laced with your devotion and your ideal echo through the air and reach the listening device, is it ears? You don't know, of this creature. There's no reply for a second. suddenly a guttural noise emanates from the depths somewhere within the robe covering this creature. Let's break there and see what the other side of the party is doing.
All right.
You curve the corridor in the opposite direction, and you see there are a bunch of creatures here, a bunch of people, question mark. You see two humanoids, an octopus, a giant octopus, and a triad of floating blue flamey skulls. What do you do?
How do you want to approach the Somnus?
Oh, what is your goal? What do you want?
We need a story. I don't think it matters which one. I don't think our professor specified. You're the one with the honey words. Why don't you take the first stab at it?
Well, you're the researcher, yes? You know history. I imagine that the librarian has a history as well. I wonder if they have records. You like specifics and details. There might be records.
Suppose we could search for it. But a first-hand account is quite helpful. I think we can shortcut this. Either they could tell us where the books are, or they could tell us what they've heard of him.
Perhaps both. Let's approach, and we'll engage them in stories.
Ah, yes. Stories.
As you approach closer, they're like just chatting between each other. Up to a point that you start paying attention to the conversation. One of the voices is definitely coming from the octopus.
What are they talking about?
They're currently engaged in a conversation about how different the second year is going to be from the previous year.
1, 2, 3. I think we've hit all 5 of our second year students, I believe. I will sort of walk up. I imagine like when I saw this little ding in my also because I can do that with illusion magic, little ding in my teeth, and I'll say, because I do that, and I'll say, hey, second year students, my friend and I are first years. Hello.
Why, hello there, says the octopus. We were awaiting for your arrival.
You were? How
Yes.
did you anticipate us?
Because it's the first day of classes and your first year, so you were bound to show up.
So you've done the same assignments as us, I assume.
Perhaps?
How many times have you come around the library? Is this a usual hangout for the students?
Indeed it is. And he kind of side eyes this student here, right, the one closest to you, and actually she looks at him and then waves at you. Hi, I like to hang around here a lot. I have an invested interest in book binding, you know.
Oh, lovely. So I assume that you're acquainted with the staff here.
As much, and she kind of peers down the corridor and gives a weird look towards the librarian's direction. As much as one can, I guess. He's not much of a talker.
And that's what I assumed as well. But I'm sure that stories carry, stories linger. They must have been here for quite some time, no?
I wouldn't know. Literally second year. So since last year, yes.
What was your first year like?
It was a lot of books, a lot of reading. If we were failing in comparison to the average of the class, we would have extra classes with the garden keeper.
Oh, the garden keeper.
Uh-huh.
Well, we haven't encountered the garden keeper yet. But what about this librarian?
Yeah.
A curious figure. Do you know much about their history?
She starts to chime in, and the octopus interrupts her. Well, I'm afraid that is not possible to disclose. We have been instructed to not help the students with their tasks. Remember, Elise?
Well, but we're all students here together, and you would want to help us out. Or maybe you wouldn't say anything untoward, but gosh, we're new students, and anything you could do to help us out to let us know what to expect and what it was like for you when you first did this assignment. Was it easy for you? Let us know. I mean, I imagine your stories would be very interesting.
Oh, God, no, it wasn't easy. My suction cups weren't made to climb these old, dusty bookcases, you know? But we spent a decent amount of time searching for the answer. And no one from the year above helped us.
Oh,
Have you met them?
I have. I am so sorry. But I feel like the relationship between our year and your year will be different. We'll be friends.
Huh. Perhaps we can. In the long run, of course, because now I really cannot disclose any information. It would be, if anyone finds out, I might be in trouble. And I still don't know what happens in the third year that people drop out. So I don't want to risk it.
Isn't learning all a bit of a risk? I mean, passage of information's exchanged hands so many times, and with much higher stakes than this, no? At least we'll be in trouble together. That'll be something.
I'm sorry, did you say you weren't allowed to tell us? I would like to spend some action points if you don't mind.
Go for it. What are you doing?
I have the ability called Bamboozle.
Haha.
You make a nearby creature mildly confused about a specific object until you leave the area. For example, you could make a merchant confused about the value of their goods, or a guard confused about who's authorized to pass, or a dog confused about whether he's a good boy. And I feel like that perhaps our octopus is a little confused about whether or not they were allowed to help us or not, and that perhaps they were. Perhaps like what they were told was it's a little vague, and perhaps a little bit of helping out wouldn't be too bad, because after all, friendship is magic, you know.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's really good. And you're targeting the octopus in specific, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As you asked, the octopus is the one who's most resistant to just
inclined,
sharing.
Yeah.
Yes. And seems a little bit like a leader, so you know.
Yeah. Definitely. As you asked that question, exactly what were you not supposed to? You see confusion in his beady eyes. It's like, I am actually not sure what I was saying. There's something about it. What did the teacher say? And the other two just look at each other and look at you. I couldn't possibly know, Kieran. Did you forget? If you forgot, then we definitely forgot, because you always remember everything, but we don't. No, of course, no. That makes total sense.
I think you were telling us about the librarian. My friend here. She is an archivist. She has a special interest in all sorts of details.
Oh yeah, of course. The task that you have to do. I can help you, of course. I would never. We could start on the right foot, have a decent interaction between each other. So actually, what you need to tell the teacher is that the librarian, and you see, continues to speak, but no sound comes out and no lip reading is possible. So that's it. You just reach there and tell her that.
I didn't quite catch that. Why don't you borrow my quill?
Of course.
Yeah.
And
I pass on my parchment and my quill.
Wraps around one of his tentacles around your quill, and starts like very.
I think that Somnus, when hearing nothing, sort of acts as if they did hear something, because Somnus sort of lives in a kind of a vagueness, right? Like Somnus needs Anahita here because Anahita has details, and Somnus details are very soft focused, right? So I think there's a way in which that was just seemed fine. You know what I mean? Like in a way, because it was just a little vagueness, sort of where they live.
Delightful. But as you hand the quill and his little tip of the tentacle wraps around it, it starts writing, and as the ink appears, it immediately vanishes in the paper. Oh, that's odd.
God damn it. Somnus, did you catch anything?
Wonderful memories.
And finally, the demonic featured person towards the back of the group finally chimes in. It appears that the teachers are smarter than we expected. I know what is happening. Well, if communicating clearly does not work, perhaps we can do it slyly. And she snaps her fingers, and one of the skulls surrounding her just starts floating up above. And we're going to play a little mini game. And we're going to merge
Let's go.
merge the two groups again, because how this is going to work is I'm going to turn the vision here down to this.
Okay.
Oh.
And activate. Where is it?
Oh,
I have two.
hey, that's almost a rose-colored glass. I like it.
Okay, you should see a bubble of vision around you, though, don't you?
Yeah.
I
don't see a gap.
Yeah,
I see
it's just
purple.
purple.
Oh,
Just
and I see
purple.
something moving, like a floor.
Oh, I know what it is. Just give me 1 second.
You're turning on the different vision mode, right?
There we go.
Inspiration.
Now it should be just a bubble around you, correct? Beautiful.
I see.
Not for me, I
Clouds.
just see haze. Just nothing but
I see
haze.
haze.
Yeah.
Nothing but purple haze.
Oh, dot.
Oh, I know. Just move a little bit.
A little bit. No, we don't have the
No.
exploration mode on.
It should be not exploration, but let me try and switch.
Ooh,
Okay, now I see it.
That
Okay.
did it.
So
Yeah.
if
Oh, there we
you
go. Yeah.
stay still for 1 second,
Yep.
as I promptly reset exploration. Don't worry.
purple haze.
What I'm going to do is somewhere in the map, I will place one of the little skulls that was floating around this person.
Oh, God.
The first person to find it can ask me a question, me, the guide, about the librarian. I will answer truthfully.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Can we ask, tell me everything about the librarian?
No, you cheater!
I have a unique item
Oh?
called
Oh.
Magic Candle. Does that help me in any way, shape, or form?
Let me see. Tell me what it does. I can also check what it does.
Not
if you
entirely
want.
sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty
I
sure
know
it
it's
sheds
a
light.
candle with an it's got a flame around it, you know?
It never
It's
goes
helpful.
out.
Doesn't goes out, yeah, one of those.
Let me see.
An
Candle.
A lot
Burning
of dark
candle.
libraries, you know?
Oh
Magic
yeah.
candle. A powerful candle that can light itself and snuff itself out on its owner's command. It drips wax but never seems to lose any. Yeah, I'm going to say that as you pull out your candle,
Haha.
your vision radius increases a little bit. There you go. I've increased it.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Alright. We split up?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Remember,
see this
first
coming.
one to find it asks a question.
Oh my god.
This is
Okay.
I wish we had some nostalgic music. Remember that one game show?
Remember that one time?
Mm-hmm.
I've not found it.
Oh geez.
Remember to thoroughly join the corners of each crevice because sometimes it's hidden in just a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
What does this look for like for us in fiction?
I think this is as the Tiefling woman does that, your mind is kind of expanded a little bit, and you see as this almost ethereal plane as the skull floats towards a specific bookshelf and knocks a book over that has a piece of information that you're looking for.
Man. Anyone found anything? I found something.
Oh,
Found something.
there we go.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Anahita, What is your question?
How does the librarian define themselves?
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
great question.
They define themselves as an indentured spirit. Right?
Adventure spirit. Okay.
If you
Interesting.
can't, I'm gonna pause time for a second because I need to reset exploration once again. Rehide the little skull.
So I have a question. It's a character question. We are at this moment in sort of like a plane of like a mental plane of some sort.
Yeah, let's call it that.
What does everyone look like in this plane?
You tell me.
Like I want to know what Iwela looks like in this plane. I want to know what everybody looks like in this sort of
Interesting. Okay.
mental plane.
You know, yeah. I think in this plane, I think you're seeing. So I think Iwala. I think for most deities, most gods, especially ones that are born of the people's belief or emotions, they take on the form that's just most relevant of the time, or that will just matches best the feeling. Like I'm righteous anger, so my character, at least in the physical realm, looks more like some sort of warrior or gladiator, something along those lines. But I think in this plane, he's like the purest form of like. It's like I think he's like a controlled fire. He's like you can see like it's not burning everything it touches, but it's definitely it's hot and you do not want to get close to it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
Is this a projection of that we are choosing of ourselves, or is this like a true form? Interesting.
For me, I chose true form. Yeah.
While if someone else wants to describe, you can search for the second
Search
skull
around.
meanwhile if you like.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, there's another skull.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Until you have like a story, we'll keep on playing the minigame.
I think zero waste actually manifests a little bit elementally as well. It's more like a gust of wind with leaves on it. It like it's either that or maybe this idea that she's actually shaped from like Gaia herself, so like made of clay and stone and grass and I found it.
Aha! Okay.
Oh yeah.
You just have to talk your way through it.
Talk my way through it.
Clay, I
So
love
yeah,
that.
yeah, or like some like almost the way one might make like a corn husk doll, or like something that's pieced together by Gaia herself. But I imagine when I move, it's kind of like a gust of wind with leaves on it. And
What
then
is
I
your
trip
question?
over this skull. My question is, for this librarian. So we asked, how do they define themselves? I'm gonna get a really good one here. I think my question is, how did they get here? How did they get here?
Ooh, okay. The answer.
Meaning that could be this job or like this school. Here is kind of vague,
plane.
but yeah, this plane. Yeah, how did they get here?
The answer to that is that this indentature was forced upon them for their crimes.
Oh,
Interesting.
Dot. Jinx.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we know they have crimes. They committed crimes.
Search again if you want more answers.
I have to write things down first.
Anahita's form in this plane is an even more like kind of semi-transparent version of herself. In this version of her, she takes up even less presence.
Now, by the way, Iwela in Zero Waste, I think you are transported into this ethereal realm at the same time as the other two, but because of your ability, Iwela.
Oh,
Because
this
of your
is like during my
declare.
first cycle when I
Okay,
took
cool,
those
cool, okay.
mushrooms.
I think Somnus.
I found it.
Zero Waste
Whoa,
just finding
Zero's
everything.
on it.
It's nature. It's nature.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, what is your question?
I wanted to finish letting. Did you get your description out?
I think that Somnus is, you know when they talk about how figures in films are shadows, right? Like movie shows are like shadow play. I think that Somnus is a shadow. Is this sort of like two-dimensional shadow that is like a collage of images and scraps going back actually much, and I think that like it's like the front part collage, more modern media depictions of things, but it's all papering over something else. And then as you go further back, it's like earlier media, and so some sort of imagine themselves as being somewhat contemporary, but you can see, Anahita would find this interesting, little bits of nostalgia all the way back, right? Like there are clay tablets that have rewritten things and paintings where, and like I think that sometimes in this space, if you just shift yourself just right, that sort of painting of that portrait, you can see the thing underneath it, which is not that, like it's the statue of Caesar Augustus. If you know that statue that looks so grand, but when you look, that's not what Caesar Augustus looked like, right? And so in this shade, this shadow, there's that little refraction where the papered over kind of peels a little bit, and you can see these other sort of things underneath it of things that are being sort of just papered over. It's like a shadow collage.
That's fun.
You're what needs to be returned to Peter Pan.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
What is your question?
After the last question, I have to know, what
Yeah.
crimes did you commit?
Ooh, okay. The answer to that, I think, because I only have one little more round here. The answer to that's going to be slightly vague, and it's going to be he was the author of the idea that resulted in a great tragedy of our times. Well, of our times of humanity, right? It was the person behind that idea, not the one that executed it, the person behind the idea.
Oh my god, it's Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Facebook. Oh no.
I'm gonna throw just a little bit more
But
info.
they are definitely guilty.
Yes. I'll try
Well,
a bit more
they came
info
up with the idea,
in
right?
case you can piece it together already. We don't need to do an extra round. And that info is, for indentured spirits like this one in specific, their punishment is often related to their crime. And with
Did
that,
they burn? No. I was gonna say they burned the library of Alexandria because that was
found
pretty
him.
big.
Ooh, time has paused.
yes, there we go.
But they didn't do the action themselves, they came up with the thought,
Yeah, they were the ones that had the idea.
concept.
Interesting.
The author of Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury.
Not necessarily a concept. It could just be like, oh, we should do this, and someone did.
I should have shared the idea. Okay.
If I tell you that I found the skull again, are y'all gonna hate me?
No,
No, we're gonna
people
love
love
you.
you because it makes it, but you
Makes
have to
sense at this
describe
point.
it. You have to describe how your nature person can find these skulls. That's what I want to know. How are you so good at it?
Because the cycle of life and death is part of like decomposition of waste, and zero waste knows.
Good
And
enough
she
for
can
me.
smell out these burning skulls just as well as she can smell out the kind of tree that was
Nice.
used to make the paper in the books.
Love it.
Okay, well
on
that's
this-
do y'all have thoughts on what question should be asked this time?
I think we
There
can
were
ask
some
for a
ideas
name,
already.
right?
Oh yes, we needed a name.
Yes.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay,
no,
but here's
name before you were a spirit, right?
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your given name, and is it something than what you call yourself?
Yeah.
It could also be as simple as like, what did they call you?
Oh, what did they call you? Yeah.
Because we started with, what do you call yourself? And now it's.
Oh
moving
yeah,
back
okay. So
around.
yeah, how do you identify? Yeah. So what do others call you?
And I'm not here to trick you. What you're looking for is the name while they were alive, right?
Yeah.
Alive,
Yeah.
right?
I guess.
What did they call you? Yeah.
Pontius.
Oh.
Quick Google search.
Like Pontius Pilate?
No,
Like-
just
Oh, okay.
Pontius. Not that one.
I was gonna say like, oh, okay. Well,
You really are not a good person. You deserve to be here.
Like, what were you doing this whole time?
So yeah,
Point of
recap of
pilot.
information before we get into the new round. Indentured Spirit, cursed to serve in a task that is related to their great crime. And they have a Roman name, generic Roman name.
Were they the cause of the burning of the Library of Alexandria?
If you think you know it, you can say it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
idea,
gonna
right?
that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
They didn't do it themselves, but
They
they,
didn't
had
do
the.
it, but they had the idea.
So how about we do one more round, and you can ask that to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let me just hide the skull once more.
Okay, I'm not going to search for it.
No,
No, so please search, because it's going to be hilarious if you
I'm
find
not
it.
gonna
It'll
do
be
it.
great if you let find it again.
Go for it.
I have to say that Anahita during this time has become a little bit distracted during the search, watching Somnus kind of shift in and out of form. Every time it seems like the fog lifts again, they're
I found it.
noticing. Oh hell yeah!
Ooh, there you go.
I'm watching you. You're watching the skull. Noted.
Right, and I imagine we're probably kind of. I imagine that Somnus has a kind of an interesting attraction, right, Anahita? Like this kind of like because you have details that Somnus does not have. Like Somnus does not have details, right? And so there's a kind of I think there's an interesting pull in a way.
Yeah. It's like trying to stick to opposing magnet ends. Doesn't
Yes, right.
quite work.
It doesn't quite work. I think the question as for the group, yes, was Pontius the one who came up with the idea or gave the order to burn down the Library of Alexandria?
Correct.
Ooh. I think when we get an answer, the flames that make Iwela just like flare up again before calming down. Because I think he definitely like remembers the anger of the people who lost all of that knowledge, or the people upset and angry that all of that was lost to flames at the command of one person, or at the very least at the idea that one person gave.
Gonna take some creative liberty here. Correct me if you're not happy with it, but I feel like as this last answer echoes through your collective consciousness, right? The flames in your enveloping your spectral form or this ethereal form in this plane, as it expands and you get yoinked out of that plane, they linger for just 1 second more than they should as you return to the original library, as you know, maybe your powers are already developing a little bit from just being one day united with this font of knowledge of this magical place, of this place of learning.
Could I say that,
Yeah.
inspired by something that Dot said to me yesterday, that I think Anahita would notice something about Somnus in that moment if Iwela is sort of the flames are sort of consumed. I think bits of these pieces of paper fall off, and it would be because the thing about nostalgia, it can be warm and happy, or it can be sad and melancholy. And the burning of the Library of Alexandria is a source of massive nostalgia for so many people. And I think little bits of paper would fall off, and there'd be like a sketch drawing of this library as it might have once been. And that kind of melancholy sorrow of loss that comes from nostalgia as well would sort of like emanate from the shadow before sort of like pulled back. Right? It's like that's the other side, right, of nostalgia is that melancholy, that longing for loss.
Yeah.
So I was behind Somnus as they found the final skull, and I could hear the rages from Iwela from before, and I just turned to Somnus as they regain their form. What are you? Are you anything?
I'm Somnus. And I think Somnus has a tear coming down their eye, but they're smiling like everything is fine, but there's this tear as like the kind of like the smell of, because if I remember correctly, you had the library exam, had you not?
I have, yeah.
I think
And
the spell of the
it's
library
odd
Alexandria.
to me.
Yeah.
It's odd to me that you are the one with this reaction, because Anahita views this as just another part of the story, another part of the tale. I have no. The Library of Alexandria did not need to stay standing. This is part of, the grander tale of history. And so the question stands: what are you?
I'm the minor god of nostalgia.
Even the final question was pieced together from what the others found.
Yes.
You have proposed
Isn't that
nothing
how it
new.
always is? But why would I want anything new? What is old is so familiar.
And she takes a deep breath. And she's like, let's find the others.
Why am I crying?
Only you
It's
can
fine.
answer that, Somnus.
I think as you both return to this plane here, just from the corner of your eye, both of you that were close by, you see the person that helped you with the skulls just lower their hand, just give a quick nod in your direction.
And I just smile warmly in that sort of slightly vague, warm way towards the demonic figure, and like, hey, and then like, study group, and then I go and I'm sort of drawn back, like I sort of like move back towards Anahita, and it's sort of like I think it's like I'm just sort of drawn, like in that way that the shade is drawn, right, to light and warmth. And I think that I'm just a little bit less three-dimensional, and I'm just like slowly coming back to three-dimensionality as we're back in this space.
So, have an answer for me?
Yeah.
Tell me, what have you learned?
He just like
That we
aggressively
may have
points.
consumed mushrooms.
Zero. I think we're good. I don't think we consumed anything, but also like good job with finding all those skulls.
Skulls? What are you talking about, skulls? And she kind of gives a look back to the demonic figure.
True.
You said skulls?
I didn't say skulls. I said, you know what? Never mind. This little shit. points at, and he points at the spirit. They had the idea of burning down the Library of Alexandria. The hard work of the people who built it, the people who made the records. They had the idea of burning it down. Didn't do anything to stop it.
They freed the trees.
Very well. And do you
Someone else
think...
take it, because I'm gonna say words that very foul words, and I feel like
You-
Zero is only 2 cycles old. I don't know if they should be hearing
You
this
are
yet.
on fire. Aren't you
Yes.
upset?
Very.
Why?
Many people had worked to build the Library of Alexandria. Many people whose jobs people lived and worked in the Library of Alexandria, but this I'm not gonna use the word. This person decided to give the idea and do nothing to stop it, of burning it down, all of it down. Do you know how much people could have benefited from all of that knowledge? Do you know how people just could have benefited from the library existing? Work jobs that could have existed? Lives could have been better.
How many
How
trees
many-
if there was no library?
I don't know.
How many books in that library suggested something similar?
Of burning it down?
Not necessarily the Library of Alexandria, but of other cities, other creations.
Iwela.
I don't know what was in there. I know the feelings of the people who made it. And the feelings of the people who made it and lost it.
Maybe
And it's not
I know those
fair.
feelings too.
maybe the
feelings of
librarian should
loss.
answer for why.
It can't even goddamn speak. Kind of like,
Well,
Cannot.
maybe if it's a librarian, it can write.
It could. But you are missing the point. The lesson I wanted you to get out of here is that knowledge is a complicated thing. It is not words on a page. Context is important.
Oh.
As your fellow student was saying, as she directs her gaze towards you, Iwela, but points at Anahita, perhaps knowledge in there could have helped people, but we do not know what that knowledge is. Perhaps knowledge there could have made things worse. There is no magical way to peer into the timelines and decide what was good, what was bad, just what was. And although actions in themselves have this concept of evil and good, that the teachers here at MGU align themselves with, and along the same axis. Some other entities out there do not align themselves with our ideals, and they have as much power as I do, and they certainly have more power than you.
Deduction powers?
Deduction powers as well, yes. I do not have answers for you. It is your first day. During this year, you'll learn more. Or maybe you won't learn at all. But you will gain knowledge.
I have a question, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
If we do not know if the information burned would help or hinder, why then are they considered a criminal?
It is because the collective mind of those that survived the tragedy, the collective mind of those that made the decision to indenture this creature, namely us, powerful creatures, the ones who did it, align themselves with this ideal. Now, I am sure that people you consider good, if fallen under the domain of other powerful entities with less aligned ideals to mine, they can also be indentured for doing the good thing. This is the correct symbol nowadays, right? And she kind of tries with the air quotes.
yeah, that's right.
You could also do this. You might like this one.
I think that's very
Talk
different. That's very different, actually.
This?
It doesn't mean the same thing.
She does it.
That was me, Sarah. Go ahead.
It's in fiction now.
It's kind of
It's like, I've seen hieroglyphics for this one.
Beautiful. And as you left with that lesson, she shifts tone a little bit. Well, that was a bit of a heavy note. It is your first day. I want to lift your spirits. You have 2 more places to visit, correct?
yeah.
Indoor garden or second year classroom? Take your pick. I will be having a little conversation with my last year students. And she
They-
walks in this direction.
I don't care. We got what we wanted.
Fair enough, yeah.
Is it just me, or can you not read if she is upset or not?
Oh no, I think she's upset.
Why? They helped us.
That's why.
But shouldn't we help each other so that we can be the best that we can be?
Yes.
Debatable.
We heard a note about the garden. And
Yes.
Yes, I would like to judge this garden.
I
Yeah,
think Zero
let's
would
get out
like
of this,
it very
like,
much.
Tree crypt.
get
Zero
some
did
fresh
some
air.
really good work finding those scars. I think she definitely deserves to just hang out with living plants.
Out of the crypt
Yes.
and into the nursery. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes!
And
Where is it,
if
up or
we need-
down?
It is down.
Oh,
Okay, other way.
oh.
And if we need to get special lessons, we apparently talk to the gardener.
Gardener.
Right,
Is-
indoor garden.
That a worshipper of Gaia?
It is A person who works with their hands. Salt of the earth. Who helps tend plants and helps them grow.
Oh, like me.
Yes. But probably mortal? I don't know.
I call myself a gardener then.
Zero Waste the Gardener. Has a nice ring to it.
It does.
And as you step outside of this door, in the second floor of this building, in a library, you suddenly find yourselves outside. But wait, around this garden there are walls. This is a room. It is just made to be an indoors garden. Although the ceiling is still natural, there is no constructed ceiling, the sun doesn't shine as before. Instead, a bunch of snowflakes fall slowly and wind blows through, seemingly from the walls, but yes, a little bit of nature, a little bit of nature's respite in the middle of this constructed building.
It's snowing! And I
Yeah.
think Zero Waste like turns around in circles and just like, ah. It's so beautiful. The snow is like tears, but happy.
Okay. I didn't know where you're going with it at first, because like it's like tears, that sounds like a bad thing. But you said the happy part, so okay, I get it.
Though
I would've
this
thought
is
it'd be a
not
bit
much of
side.
a garden.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I remember all those times when you would be sitting inside by the fire when it would be snowing out and you would have hot chocolate.
Hot
Those
chocolate.
were nice times.
I never had those. I don't know. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that most of us didn't have those times. I think like most of us were literally just born a couple of cycles ago.
Yes. 2 cycles. Though, if we want a fire, I can accomplish this.
I'm no nature expert, but I feel like a fire in a heavily wooded area is maybe a no. At least not like a natural fire. I'm pretty sure it's like a cycle of like natural forest fires and how that's all in the whole cycle of things. But I do think like starting one now might not be a good thing. At least not until you know what we're meant to be doing.
Well, if it means I get to meet this hot chocolate.
We'll have
I do want to point
decide
out
the
that I want to point out to
cafeteria.
everyone that I think Zero Waste has been here for less than an hour and has technically got 2 dates, right? Am I?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
I've been doing it wrong. I need to be more naive. Like,
Iwala,
Yes.
you say you're angry.
Well,
What if you're
righteous
really-
anger, but yes.
What if you're really just sad?
No.
Would you like
I do know where you're coming from with that. I am one of many siblings, many children that were came to fruition at least at a higher rate around now, and sadness is one of them. One does have a hold on that, but I suppose I'm what usually comes afterwards when showing that you're sad doesn't do the job. Angry gets stuff done.
stuff.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing?
Not like a thing as in we've been using it recently, but like is the same thing as a thing. It's kind of like you know what like a synonym is. I don't know. I'm not a teacher. I think we should probably leave that to like the language teacher. But
Synonym.
yeah,
We should visit the garden.
Yes, I would like to
Yeah.
stroll.
At that notion, you hear a voice from back from the garden. If you are about to stand in my garden talking nonsense to each other, might as well come here and talk to me. Cannot read book while listening to you, so come.
Excuse
okay.
me, I do not know nonsense. Is this a new language? Spoken by what kind of creature is this?
It is new language, and it apparently was invented by you just now. That was nonsense.
I invented a language. Does that mean I
Oh.
pass?
I predict I'm not going to enjoy this interaction, but it is my job.
I shall make myself very, very enjoyable. Your garden is beautiful, even though it is under snow.
Thank you. I like snow. I like the cold. It reminds me of home.
Oh, where is your home?
It is a broad space, but I was more prevalent many years ago in the Slavic region, Eastern Europe.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Gaia has spoken of this piece of her planet.
It is
You
nice.
are Leshy? If I remember, sorry, I have a reader's vocabulary.
Ah. Yes. That would be one of the many names I go by. The one I prefer. Correct.
Lovely to make your acquaintance. We were directed towards your presence.
Ah, yes. I always tell them, don't bother saying to me, only if they need special training. But no, they always, no, Les, you need to meet the students, because if you work with them, then you need to know them already. But some people I don't work with, so I don't know why I have to meet you in first day. If I need to... Anyway. I'm supposed to teach you something, right? There's some kind of lesson, some kind of thing. Wait, let me see.
You could just give us
As
like a
well as we
passing
do.
grade and let us go. I wouldn't say no to that.
Did you make
I like
that-
that.
bound tree from one of your trees?
She's talking about the book you're holding.
Remember when I said literally 20 seconds ago I'm not going to enjoy this interaction? This is
Yeah.
what I was referring to.
She grows on you, honestly. Like I'm honestly kind of she's okay.
I can
Like a
actually
fun
physically
guy.
do that if you'd like.
Don't again. That's like a third day thing. Okay.
Please don't
Oh.
grow on me. Otherwise I'll have to grow on you as well, and I don't want to have this growing
My.
fight.
That sounds like a fresh season.
I feel like
Third day.
I shouldn't be listening to this.
Sounds
What do you want us
You
to
must
do?
not understand. Does pollination make you all uncomfortable?
Oh, okay, yeah. What are we doing here? What are you here to
No,
do,
no, no, no,
guys?
no. no.
What's
This
in
is
your dead tree?
Oh, that's a new one.
I don't understand what is happening here. This is outrageous. Last year they came here, I spent 2 minutes talking about some silly nonsense bullshit kind of lesson, and they went away. But now one person just doesn't understand basic things, and you want passing grade. Is this why you come to school? To get passing grade?
I
More
think I feel like that's
weekly
why
faster?
most people go to school. Am I wrong here?
I do not understand passing grades, but I came to learn things.
Good. That is good.
You
came from
teach
memories.
of bullshit?
No, now you have my interest. I will teach you something proper, okay?
Oh.
Because I don't tolerate this passing grade thing. This is not behavior.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you want to learn things, yes? Weird lady that wants to grow on me. You want to learn?
I am amenable to learning and growing
Why do you want to learn?
because I am kind of a fresh bud, and Mother Gaia says that I must better understand the creatures on her planet before I can fully invest in renewing her.
Do you know where power
are-
comes from?
Mother Gaia.
That is one source.
The fury and anger of the mortals.
Correct.
Our
It's very
creators and our
specific, though.
hopes.
Yeah, so is Gaia, to be honest.
Our power as creatures that feed off what happens in this world comes from those that believe in us. If no one believes in us, then we cannot grow. We cannot learn.
Oh.
Your friend, Gaia, as people stop caring more and more, her power wanes. Our power
is true.
wanes.
Yes.
We have to come to the realization that time passes, but we stay the same. That is nature of our existence, of immortality. What I can teach you here is lesson that things change, even for us, even for those in position of power.
Like the seasons.
Like the seasons. Correct. I used to be happy with what I did in my homeland. Let me tell you a story.
I love stories.
I used to be guardian of forests. Your friend you mentioned, Gaia, goes by many names. I had good relation with her. I had my little corner of forest to keep for myself and maintain. And as time went by, I started helping humans in area. I helped them, they helped me grow. My power came from their belief in me. Not my base power, not the basic things I can do, but more. I was growing. But time passes, and humans are cruel to each other. Different empires came and went and stayed in area. People that believed in me, that had good agreement with me, vanished. Power diminished. My own power. And then the new people in area didn't like me. And I started fighting back. And then my power grew into something scary because people were suddenly afraid of me. And if you command your power through fear, your mind can be tainted by not so happy feelings, if that makes sense. Now I luckily have returned to my former self. I have given up on humanity. I'm happy to be just a little god with little power. But some people cannot exit the spiral of growth. And this is something you have to choose for yourself because there is no correct choice. You can come here and study to hone your task, to hone your skills, and stay there. Or you can spiral. I wish you don't, but it is a danger.
But without trust in the mortals, don't we just disappear?
We do.
So how do we affect them? How do we make them believe?
There is something that I am not equipped to teach you. There is other teacher that can tell you more. Me? I am a living cautionary tale. That things change. Power comes and goes, and it can take different forms. It is what you choose to do with your powers, and when you choose to stop growing them, that defines the type of entity you become.
Oh.
Why is that a cautionary tale?
Because there are those that feed on fear. There are those that feed on hatreds. Those that feed on negative emotions. And they grow because people believe in them because they are afraid. And those emotions can seep into your brain.
That is their story they choose to tell, no?
It is. But if that goes to the extreme, think about it. It's a self-destructive path. Because more fear, more deaths, less humanity, less belief, we all lose. We all wane. It is not the path forward. In the past, you had these, what you called gods that were there to help and gods that were there to scare. And there was a fine balance. But humanity has evolved, developed. They do not believe in good gods anymore. They can, but it's hard. But the fear is something that's ever present. And if that fear wins, if destruction comes for us all, then we all lose.
Maybe it's no longer time for the immortals to write the tales. Maybe it is the time for mortals to take charge of it. Is this not the tipping of scales?
Perhaps it is. But in that case, I ask you, why are you here?
Why are you?
To balance their destruction with creation.
Exactly. If that is the path you wish to take, then we will live for much more time.
My
But
best
you,
friend.
and points at Anahita, if you believe that things should lead its natural course without we interfering, then perhaps this school is not the correct place for you to be. Perhaps you should watch from sidelines. But as someone who has opted to watch from sidelines, that is something that old people and scarred people do. Not fresh ones. And if you have not acted in your lifetime, perhaps it's time to let those who did rest while you take action. And he kind of sits down at this point back in the little boulder. Like myself, rest is good.
I look back at the tracks that I've made in the snow and kind of like use my foot to smooth over the snow so that it appears like I wasn't standing where I was.
My best
The
friend,
snow.
Anahita, asked me a question. She asked me, who are you? What are you? And you said that you were something, then you embraced fear and became something different, and you came back to who you were. But are we not just who they believe us to be? What they remember us as? So there is no going back to anything other than what we remember. Our dreams. Or their dreams.
It is not as complicated. It feels like you are complicating things, and I do not know why. You can become what you wish, what shapes. Okay, think of it like this. You have snow and you have ice. Ice is what you are. Snow is what falls on top of you. You cannot change what ice is, but you can build on top of that ice with the snow that falls on you. Although the snow always falls, you can clean it off. But if it's cold enough, you cannot melt the ice. You can always strip back your origins to your ice, while snow depends on things around you. Does that make sense?
It's like the seasons. Everything changes. And you know what? I think that maybe you're right. Maybe it is time for the humans to write the stories, but that doesn't mean that we can't write their stories. Because their truth is our truth.
That is good feeling. That is good train of thought. I don't have correct answer, I told you. I'm here to make you think. And actually, I have test for you now that you mention this. I want to evaluate character of each one of you. See your ambitions.
Oh.
You ready to take my trial?
I don't think we have much of a choice.
Unless you want a
Yes.
passing grade.
I would honestly just prefer the grade, but I'm guessing you're not going to give it without the trial.
No, it was ironic comment. No, it was supposed you feel bad. You don't feel bad? Then
No,
we'll
not
have-
even a little bit.
I predict we'll see each other after class many times then.
Probably, yeah.
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 Ironic.
It's like rain on your wedding day. It's like a free
Oh.
ride when you've already paid.
Rain on your wedding day is good luck. I
Wait.
understand now.
I know this. Some time ago I acquired this thing called iPod, and some music like that was in. It was this, I remember lyrics.
You remember the songs from before. Does it make you feel good?
No, I didn't like that song.
Hmm.
Now I remember it. I don't like. Why did I remember? Anyway, my test for you. I want you to add something to my garden. And he spreads his arms, and you feel like a font of energy rush through you. And I will judge your attitude depending on what you wish to add. Then I will know your true intentions. And you feel this font kind of fill you in from the inside. You feel like suddenly you have the power to create, the power to add something. And let's see what you do next week as we start with Lashish's trial and see what you add to his beautiful, beautiful indoors garden.
Damn, you got me. I'm like, let's go. Great
That was
job.
good.
Yeah, me too. I was like, ooh, what am I gonna add?
Amazing.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit. We're like 2 minutes off finish time, so I'm gonna make this quick. I'm just gonna quickly go around the table once and just again say who we are, where you can find us if you wish to do so, and can make it brief because we're back next week with the conclusion of this
Oh my gosh.
adventure, which is gonna be amazing because the story so far has been brilliant. Your characters are brilliant. Your interactions have been really, really fun.
I've had so much fun.
Eager to see what happens next week. There's one more trial ahead of you, and then the bonus room that you've been instructed you'll have to visit once you finish the 3 ones, right?
Yep.
So let's see what that is. Beautiful.
I hope it's not behind a blue door or anything. Like, I hope there's like a little key and they're like, whatever you do, don't go in that one door.
Oh,
and then like,
God.
'cause that just would be really bad.
Oh no. The game is over. The game. Beautiful. Okay. I'm Nuno. This was a pleasure. It was your guide for today. Will be your guide for next week as well. If you like what you've seen with Multiverse, you can join our Discord. We play games every week, but I'm actually going to throw it to Sarah to say goodbye, and she can talk to you about all of those games that we have on offer. Sarah, go for it.
Hell yeah. So my name is Sarah. I'm creative director and I run the games calendar over at the More Multiverse Discord. That's discord.gg/multiverse. We put it in the chat below as well. We play like 9 different systems a week, 10 games in 10 days, constantly running community games where you can play adventures, actually like the MGU orientation game, which debuted first with our Discord community before we brought it to Twitch. Learn how to run these games yourself on there as well. Ask about closed beta and how you can get in, and pop in to spectate a game if you like as well. We are opening up closed beta to anyone who plays in a community game first. So if you want to get your grubby little hands on these tools, check it out there.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I'm actually going to link Discord now because you can join through that link. I see Kyle had already done it. Doesn't matter. Drac, do you want to say goodbye next?
Yeah, hi, I'm Draco Draconics. I played the constantly angry boy. You can usually just catch me here. Honestly, I'm usually the one. I'm trying to get all these wonderful guests on stream. I'm very happy to have got to play with Trooper and Dawn. I can't wait for next week because this was incredible. And I'll be honest, kind of want it to be a campaign, but I guess it can't be. But it's great. But yeah, no, just join the Discord. The games that I've been playing and run there are incredible. I'm pretty sure there's like an Avatar, like West Marches.
We have Avatar. I'm running Keepers of the Mist, which is a Monster of the Week game. We got a Lancer game running. We have all types of, from indie to homebrew to, you know, some of the bigger systems like Blades in the Dark and Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want to play it, it's probably there.
Yeah. But you'll just find me here again next week.
Speaking of finding people here next week, our amazing guests for this week are going to return next week as well. So just give your quick goodbyes, whoever wants to go first, because it's just short-lived.
Trooper, I went
Goodbye.
first last time. You have to go first this time.
No, I actually went first last time. You have to go first this time.
Dang it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually am partially zero waste. Okay, y'all, I'm Di. You can find me online as Little Red Dot. Pick your social media platform of choice. You can also find me over on my Twitch, my Discord, but most of the time I'm tromping about the realm of Kobold Press. So come check out Kobold Press. We make 5e products in a much more diverse system and way, and you can check out everything we've got out there, including our Twitch channel where I get to produce for them.
Lovely.
Oh, and go vote for me in the Game Her Awards, please and thank
Yes.
you.
Go.
And I am Trooper SJP, pew, 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 pew. And I was playing Somnus, which is Latin for dreaming, sleeping, who is the minor god of nostalgia. And you can also, if this were a longer campaign, I'm really excited to find out how all the characters would like grow and change, interact with each other, and like, you know, what I want to know, like how zero waste dates are gonna go, because like, you know, she's got 2 already, and
There will be no wasted time.
no wasted time. And you can find me at my Twitch channel, Trooper SJP. Fridays at 7 p.m. I GM a Fate French Resistance campaign that actually has Dot in it, and as long as our internet is actually fixed by Comcast, then you will see it on Friday. Otherwise, you'll see me around. You can find me on Twitter at Academic Foxhole. And everybody here is super cool. And I'm having like existential thoughts. And once we go down, I'm going to be spending a lot of time thinking existential thoughts because of our amazing GM. So thank you, amazing GM.
Right?
And thank you, all of the
Thank
fellow
you,
players.
Nino.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
that
welcome.
was
I'm
good.
happy
Alright.
you're enjoying it. Okay, I think it's time to sign off. And in classic One More Multiverse,
Yes.
This is
One More
how we
Multiverse
say bye
fashion,
here.
get ready,
Little kiss at
everyone.
the camera. That's just how we do it.
Mwah.
Mwah. Mwah.